1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers, but you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
I thought I caught you out there. I thought you weren't ready for the jazz hands, were you?
I wasn't ready, but I got there anyway. Yay. Because I am great.
Hello, Rich. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm good. That's Rich, by the way. He's the other person who speaks on this podcast. My name is Dave. I'm the other person that speaks on this podcast. And currently it is Sunday morning and I'm a little bit tired, but we're going to crack on with this extra episode that will be coming out to your ears on Friday, the whatever.
Yeah, you'll be listening to this and it'll be a Friday.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
I mean, technology is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what are we doing today on this lovely extra episode, Rich?
Well, with all the great sequeliness we've had this month, this week kind of looked like a bit of a lull in sort of sequel releases. No trailers, no new sequels we can talk about. So we've delved back in time. First of all, went kind of 25 years back to find Batman and Robin, a terrible sequel released this time. And also, same month, 25 years ago, Speed 2.
Jesus
Equally
Christ.
Terrible sequel.
But
we've talked about both of those already. They've been people's worst sequel choices.
Yep.
So I thought, let's have a look at other anniversaries. And 15 years ago, today, well, not quite today, but around this time, the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer was released.
Oh,
yeah. We thought we could have a look at that, and then I spotted Die Hard 4: Live Free and Die Hard, or Die Hard. I can't remember which one it is. Live Free or Die Hard.
It depends what country you're in.
Oh, really? Does it change?
It released in England, it's 4.0 because it's computers, and then in America and everywhere else, it was Live Free or Die Hard.
I hate that. That's a horrible title.
Apparently, Bruce Willis prefers R1. So,
oh wow, that's good.
I was reading up on it this morning.
So we decided we'll do a retrospective 15-year anniversary of Die Hard 4.
Yeah.
I think I prefer Die Hard 4 to Live Free or Die Hard. I think that's a very American freedom, even though we've actually not got much freedom.
Plus, you just quoted a Scottish warrior.
Well, I don't think Braveheart ever said that. I don't think William Wallace ever screamed freedom. I think that's a very American thing.
He did. I've seen the movie.
I hate to say this, Dave, but the movie is incredibly historically inaccurate.
What?
Braveheart, don't believe any of it.
Did they not paint their faces?
I mean, that might have happened.
Okay.
They may also have worn kilts. But beyond that, I think the rest of it's pretty much made up.
Okay.
So yeah, there we go.
Well, good to know.
Anyway, we're not talking about Braveheart. We're talking about Die Hard 4.
4.0. Get the name right.
4.0. Sorry. And I've got to be honest, when we talked about this, I was like, oh, that is a bad sequel.
No.
It's going to be fun to talk about a bad sequel. And I watched it and I was like, this is actually quite fun. This is not a bad movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Like, Die Hard 4 is not supposed to be good. What happened there?
Do you remember when it came out? Did you go and see it? What are your feelings? Hang on, are you a Die Hard fan? What did you think of the other ones? I've got so many questions. They've just
Massive Die Hard fan. I think Die Hard is an incredible Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
And I also think that I quite like Die Hard 2. I think Die Hard 2 is fine. There's a lot of people that hate on Die Hard 2, but I quite like it. And Die Hard with a Vengeance, I absolutely love.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a brilliant movie. And this, I had real fun, actually. I don't remember when I first watched it. I probably would have... What was it? What are we talking? 2007?
2007, yeah.
So we'd have just finished university. I'm unlikely to have watched it at the cinema because I had no money at that time. Although,
Oh, he's thinking about it.
don't know, maybe I might have done, but I can't remember. I think it might have been the time that I had a Cineworld card potentially and was living in Bognor. No, it would have been. No, it wouldn't have been. I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember where I saw it, but I'd definitely seen it before, and I definitely thought, oh, it's not that good. But turns out it is.
It is good. I remember seeing this in the cinema, and I was highly surprised how much I enjoyed it. And for a while, I think it's my third favourite Die Hard film. Because like you, Die Hard 1 is top tier. It's watch every year at Christmas. I enjoy Die Hard 2. I really do. It's a bit samey in places. Absolutely love Die Hard with Vengeance. I've got a big soft spot for that film.
Yeah.
Again, I've told a story about my parents getting diarrhea on a holiday and all I watched was this and Mortal Kombat for 2 weeks. So I love that film. Love. 12 years difference, Rich. You were surprised when I said this to you earlier.
Yeah, that's quite a big gap, isn't it?
This was before, like nowadays, legacy sequels, because this is a legacy sequel at this point. I think.
It is. Yeah.
Weren't really a thing, and Die Hard 4 came along, and everyone was like, oh, wicked, that's good, because everyone loves Die Hard, right?
I think there's quite a lot of the tropes of legacy sequel in this, actually. So where it's developing that kind of mirroring. So in Die Hard, John McClane comes back from, to his wife that he's estranged from to find out that she's using her maiden name. And in this, he kind of, the first scene is he comes back to see his daughter that he's estranged from to find out that she's using his wife's maiden name. It's quite a very similar kind of feel to it, hasn't it? I mean, if only Timothy Olyphant had a German accent rather than an American one, we'd be talking very similar in places.
Yeah, because when we left this character, the John McClane character in Die Hard with Vengeance, he had kind of fallen out with his wife, but he was about to ring her to try and reconcile. But obviously that didn't happen, and they're now divorced.
I think that's the thing with John McClane and his wife is that is it Holly?
Yep.
Holly Gennaro. They seem to reconcile for short periods and then realise that they probably shouldn't have done in the first place.
He's a hard man to live with, I imagine.
I imagine he is, yeah. There were a few moments, I have to say, where I thought, I think he's dead. Because he's an old man. As I get older, I sort of look at things and go, I can't quickly walk down the stairs anymore, let alone jump out onto an aeroplane and then jump onto a concrete thing and slide around and stuff Yeah.
This is when they turned John McClane into more of a superhero.
They do a bit, before. Yeah. He doesn't get as bashed up as he does in the other ones.
It gets a bit stupid. Before we really delve into Die Hard 4.0, can you give the lovely listeners a synopsis?
Yes, I can.
He's always surprised. Every episode, he's surprised I ask him this question, and I ask it every time.
I'm not surprised. It's just my brain
not
trying
prepared.
to kick into gear to think. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm just woefully underprepared. So it's the synopsis is actually very similar to the original Die Hard, really, in that John McClane, as I said, comes back, strange daughter, blah blah blah. He is sent on a job to go and pick up a hacker for the FBI. He goes and picks up this kid, and then Timothy Olyphant, who is a big cyber terrorist, is trying to kill this kid, but also shut down the whole. Is it Chicago or is it Washington?
It's Washington.
It's Washington, isn't it?
Also, the whole country.
It has the White House in it. Yeah, it's trying to essentially shut down the whole of the country using cyber hacking. He's a cyber terrorist.
That was very early 2000s. That was.
Yeah, it was very early 2000s. Yeah.
The internet.
But similar to Hans Gruber in the first one, things are not all as they seem.
Well, it's not just how it's every Die Hard. They always trying to make it political or it's about refugees, or it's about this one. It's about showing the that the systems can be pulled down, but really it's about money.
Yes, essentially. I wasn't gonna. Yeah. Well,
it's
spoilers. There's spoilers.
It's 15 years old now.
Exactly, it's 15 years old. Spoilers. So yeah, and it's good. It's it's a Die Hard romp, essentially, isn't it?
No surprise that originally it wasn't a Die Hard film. And they just found the
really?
script and then turned it into a Die Hard film.
Oh, okay. Because it feels quite Die Hardy,
Well, it does and it doesn't, because it's not set in one location. It's set
true.
over, well...
But then Die Hard with a Vengeance isn't either, is it?
No, but that's mainly New York City.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Die Hard
Right.
2, the airport. Die Hard 1, the building.
I thought Die Hard with a
Die Hard
Vengeance was
5,
LA.
Russia.
Is it New York, is it?
Yeah, it's got bridges in. I don't think there's...
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, sorry. You can cut all that out.
No.
Sorry. Ah, come on!
Who's in the cast, Rich?
So, in the cast is Justin Long. Again, very early 90s. Justin Long was in a lot. Who do we want to be a hacker? Oh, Justin Long, of course.
I love Justin Long. I think he's great.
Yeah.
Great podcast, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've not seen him in much recently, but
No, he's doing some more independent stuff and TV, I would say.
Yeah, but very good. He's very good in this. Obviously, Bruce Willis is back as John McClane. As I mentioned already, Timothy Olyphant is the main hacker bad guy. I can't think of anyone else that I recognise. Who else is in it, Dave? You know this stuff better than I do.
Mary Elizabeth Weinstein as the daughter.
Oh, right.
Not Weinstein, is it? What's her name?
I don't know.
Winstead. Oh, the one who's now married to Ewan McGregor. And in lots of great films like... what's the DC film? Birds of Prey.
Oh, yeah.
She's in a lot of good stuff like that. Maggie Q, which is the sexy assistant who kicks ass.
Yeah, she's in Homeland. No, not Homeland. She's in...
Designated Survivor.
Designated Survivor, that's it, yeah.
Which has a really good first season and then quickly drops off because they're like, we weren't prepared for more seasons of this.
No. It's because it got cancelled and uncancelled, didn't it?
Oh, it's one of them, is it?
Yeah.
Did you like... Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's surprisingly better than I thought. I mean, the main thing is it's fun. I mean, there are lots of things in it that are completely stupid, and completely unrealistic. But you've got Bruce Willis actually seems like he wants to be there.
Always a plus.
He's comes out with some cracking John McClane-y kind of quotes, like he throws somebody out of a window and they land on the car and it sets the car alarm off and he's like, that's gonna wake the neighbours. There's so that brilliant John McClane-y quip stuff that I really like. And I love the way that it dispatches the baddie in the end. Can we spoil it?
Yes, absolutely.
So essentially the Timothy Olyphant is holding him round the back with a gun to hit to John McClane's chest, and he just sort of moves sideways and makes him shoot the gun. So he shoots him. So John shoots himself through the shoulder and into Timothy Olyphant's heart, and he dies. I think that's quite cool.
While shouting.
Well, yeah, while shouting, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, right?
Did you realise that this was a PG-13 version?
No, I didn't. No.
Well, I'm not actually quite sure, because we watched it on Disney+.
Yeah.
So when they released this on cinema, this was the first ever Die Hard film to be PG-13.
Okay.
And then later on they released on DVD the unrated version,
right, okay.
which sometimes they've just squeezed in some extra fucks and stuff, and
Sure.
they put the fucker in when they shot himself.
Yeah.
But in the actual film I saw in the cinema, all he says is yippee-ki-yay, and then a gunshot muffles out the motherfucker.
Ah, right. I can't remember if that happened last night or not. I watched it last night.
There's lots more shits than I was expecting for a PG-13, so it might be the unrated version. I don't know what's on Disney at the moment. I imagine it's going to be the PG-13 if it's Disney.
Yeah, you would.
But it is on Star, so who knows? I'm confused about what is what, but it's apparently this is the highest grossing Die Hard film as well.
Really?
It performed well. It got better reception than people thought it was going to get.
So why do a lot of people think of it as a bad sequel then?
I don't know. I think it loses its way when the aeroplane turns up and the truck scene.
Yes, yeah, that's definitely true. I think some of the set pieces are too over the top.
Hey, which bits are you talking about?
Well, like you just said, like the aeroplane
Okay,
stuff.
that bit is, yes. But let's not talk about the truck scene down the lift shaft.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
That's good.
It's also kind of sort of Die Hardy, if you know what I mean. It's kind of a contained...
Well, you're in a lift shaft, aren't you? So
Exactly, yeah. It's contained and it's, he gets out of it in a kind of clever way-ish. But the aeroplane stuff, that doesn't feel very Die Hard. That feels like kind of Mission Impossible or something along those lines. Because Die Hard's always kind of felt slightly real, as in
rooted,
John McClane gets beat the hell up and isn't a superhero, and it's all kind of like small scale kind of stuff.
I was about to say that I wasn't expecting. You don't normally see like Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
That's staying in. Bruce Willis, ending up on top of jets and wings and stuff. But then I realised that happens in Die Hard 2. He ends up on a wing of a plane. But that was more realistic.
Yeah.
And also what I don't like about this film is at the end when that bit's happened and the plane's brought down and he's somehow survived, the bridge is all crushing, falling down on him.
Yeah.
That he's like, where are the bad guys? And literally he looks left and then they're in that building.
Yeah.
I mean, that's lazy.
Feels a bit odd, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's too easy.
There are some oddly edited bits.
Oh, mate, the editing in this film is bizarre.
yeah, it is.
I mean, I think it was a piece of its time, really. Like some of the quick flashing cuts and camera angles. It didn't put off the enjoyment of the film, though. I enjoyed it very much.
No, it's just sometimes it just felt a little bit like you say, the story was a bit bitty, because it just sort of jumped from thing to thing. And I mean, like, another thing that I found a little bit sort of not quite John McClaney was, although maybe, using the car to take down the helicopter, essentially.
I like the car. I use the car as a bullet kind of thing.
Don't get me wrong. I like it. Crashing a car into a helicopter to take it down is good. It just didn't feel very Die Hard, maybe? I don't know. It just, again, it felt like it was from another movie, which makes sense that this was originally not a Die Hard movie.
Yeah. The lift wasn't in the original script.
Okay.
Len Wiseman, the director, brought that in after he was brought on.
Because the lift feels more Die Hard, I would say. Whereas the other things feel a bit more like another movie, basically. Another kind of... But it's just a feeling. And it doesn't. They're not bad. None of it's bad. It's all quite enjoyable and quite fun. Just a little bit off, that's all.
Did you like the use of characters? I think Bruce Willis and Justin Long are really good together.
I do think they're good together.
I think without that, this film would have been an absolute car wreck and real hard to get through.
And it's nice to see a bit of tubby Kevin Smith as well.
I did want to bring up Kevin Smith.
I didn't mention him when we talked about cast, but yeah, it's nice to see a tubby Kevin Smith, and obviously pre kind of Kevin Smith Bruce Willis fallout. Obviously,
this is where they met.
This is where they met, and they decided to work together on Cop Out, and then they decided to hate each other for a long time.
Yeah, this is the period of Kevin Smith when he tried to do some other acting in other people's films. So you've got the Daredevil. There's another film with Timothy Olyphant and Jennifer Gardner called Catch and Release, a romantic comedy. I don't know if you've watched that.
No, I've not seen that. No.
Oh, you're not a completest, Rich.
Well, no. I've seen all the films he's directed. I haven't even seen all the films he's been in.
I remember reading one of his books. Kevin Smith he talks about his it was like a diary he wrote every day because he had a blog. Guys, I don't know if you know what a blog is, but back in the day, it's very much like Twitter.
A long form version of Twitter.
Yeah, and he released basically I never read the blog, but he released it in a book. And he talked about his experience working on Die Hard and working with Bruce Willis and working on Catch and Release and stuff. It's quite funny. And I think he did some touch ups with the scripts and stuff, so he put his own little spin on there. Apparently, Bruce Willis sometimes thought it was too funny.
Right. Okay.
But I thought he played a geeky hacker that lived in his mum's basement very well.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
I think that's a strong character in this.
I agree. There's a nice cute bit where he goes in a big tirade about why he's not going to put Bruce Willis in touch, a cop in touch with the FBI through his hacker network thing. And then Bruce is like, they've got my daughter. And he's like, I'll do it now. Like, that's kind of a nice...
Yeah. Do you think that was the right way to go, introducing the daughter?
I think it worked. I think it was a bit forced at the start.
Really?
Yeah, just slightly. But yeah, it's like, yeah. And I recognise the boyfriend. Who's her boyfriend? I recognised him.
Yeah, he has a face that has been in TV.
Yeah, I've seen him in something.
His name is Jake McDorman.
Is he related to Francis McDormand?
Dorman. This is not Dorman. And he has mainly been in Watchmen, What We Do in the Shadows, apparently. The Right Stuff,
yeah,
Ladybird.
I've not seen... No. Was he in Limitless, the TV show?
Let me
the
go
TV
back
version of Limitless?
Yes, he was.
There you go. That's what
well
I've
done,
seen
you.
Then.
I have never watched it. I didn't particularly like the film Limitless.
Oh, didn't you? Oh, I did.
Not really my thing.
Interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird. It's a bit forced, kind of the coming back to the daughter, because they kind of say, "Oh, we haven't seen each other for ages, but now I'm playing a protective dad."
And then she really loves her dad by the end. I suppose if your dad saves you from terrorists, then you are going to love them.
I think it's terrorists in inverted commas, isn't it? Like terrorists, kind of thieves, really. Like
absolutely thieves. Yeah, there are some good action sequences. Good helicopter sequence. Parkour was a very early, like a mid-2000 thing. Everyone like that because Casino Royale, I remember, used it really well. That French guy doesn't.
And The Office.
Oh, sorry, I was like The Office. Then I remember parkour.
Dear. Yeah, and around that kind of time, it was a time, sort of mid-2000s, when movies were very keen on making any terrorists American terrorists, not foreign national terrorists, weren't they? So no Hans Gruber.
Somebody's having fun.
Like, let's make sure.
They kind of missed that. How do you think Timothy Olyphant did as a bad guy? I mean, he's not bad by any stretch of the imagination.
He wasn't bad, but I didn't at any point find him very sinister, particularly.
He was a different level compared to like Hans Gruber and Simon Gruber, and I can't remember the guy in the second one's name.
Hans Gruber, you kind of feel like, and Simon, like you say, they would happily shoot their own granny in the face to get what they wanted. Whereas Timothy Olyphant feels like a disgruntled employee.
Yeah, definitely.
That's basically what he is, isn't he? He's basically the guy from Office Space who burns the place down. That's pretty much his character, and that doesn't feel like, he gets really pissed off in places, but he doesn't do anything about it. Like,
he's very menacing. I'm still surprised every day of my life that he is not one of the biggest like acting stars on the planet, Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah,
because the man absolutely oozes charisma. He's like so cool.
He really is
as well. Like
the first time I saw him was in Girl Next Door, and he's the baddie in Girl Next Door, and he's really good in that.
Well, he switches.
He does, yeah,
very well. He's brilliant in like Deadwood. Justified he's really good in. He's recently made a bit of a comeback with The Mandalorian, and he was also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and the Tarantino film. He made a cameo in like that. He's doing, but he's just such an old-fashioned like movie star, like especially looks and he sounds and
absolutely. And he does a cameo in The Office for a bit as well, doesn't he? And
he does. Everyone's
Good
been
Place.
in The Office, Rich.
yeah, that's true. He's in the Good Place for a little bit.
He did a TV series with Drew Barrymore, I think.
Is she like a zombie or something? Is it a zombie?
They like eating people. They're cannibals or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, why is Timothy Olyphant not in more stuff? Who knows? He can play a villain. Let's have him as more villains and stuff.
I just realised it's Cliff Curtis. No relation to me. Is also in this film.
Who's Cliff Curtis?
He is the Bowman, the head of the. Not the FBI, but the.
Oh right, the task force. The whoever it is there.
The main guy.
Yeah, the main guy.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Bowman.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Sadly, no relation to me. Not part of my family.
You don't look similar.
I'm more of a, I reckon I can pass off as a Richard Curtis kind of.
Yeah, maybe.
Never tried that in a restaurant yet. Do you want to know what scores this has got on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, I would actually. I'd be interested because I think Rotten Tomatoes it might do all right because it's definitely not below a 3-star movie.
No,
and as we know, 3-star movies do well on Rotten Tomatoes.
You're right. So IMDb is 7.1 out of 10.
That's probably fair.
That's fair, isn't it? And then, this is going to be surprising you, I reckon.
Okay.
So critics, 82%. That's high, mate.
That's what I mean because it's not. It's. I imagine most of those critics gave it 3 stars.
Yeah. And then audience score, 86%.
Yeah, again, I don't see what's not to like. I think it's fun. It's not perfect. It's clunky in places and ridiculous in others, but you kind of want a bit of ridiculous action every now and then, don't you?
Yeah, it's silly fun. Also, it feels and we know we talked about being rooted. It's just about rooted to be believable.
Yeah. And
the event, like Bruce Willis's John McClane has always been the wrong man at the wrong place at the wrong time, but he is the right man at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
When it gets to, and we're going to talk about it slightly, Die Hard 5, when it just goes fucking bananas.
Yeah. I remember watching Die Hard 5 for the first time because I watched it at my dad's. I watched it with my dad, and we both watched it and went, well, that's not very good.
I bought it for my dad for Father's Day, thinking, "Oh, this is going to be a great gift. How can a Die Hard film be bad?" But I'm just looking at the scores, and it is. On Rotten Tomato, critic score is 15%.
Wow. Okay.
And audience score is 40.
So why did 5 miss the mark so badly?
Well, I don't want to be horrible to the man, but Jay Courtney, they have no chemistry.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it goes down to chemistry between the actors.
True.
Even if they're on screen not for very long, like
Argyle in the first one.
Yeah, like Hans and John McClane, when they're together or when they're on the mics talking.
Yeah.
It's all good. The third one, obviously, Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis is just what makes that film.
It does, yeah, absolutely.
Justin Long.
Yeah, the chemistry is really good, like better than you'd think.
And then you get to the fifth one, and Jay Courtney and Bruce Willis. To be fair, looking at them, it's not bad casting because they kind of look similar, and I think that's all they went on.
Right, okay.
And they went to Russia, and it got weird, and he was more of a superhero.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's true. If they wanted people that look similar, you need to get Joseph Gordon-Levitt from Looper.
Yeah. How would you rate the Die Hards? What would you do? 1, 2... So there's 5. Let's start at the bottom. I wonder what it is.
Okay. 5, yeah. 5's the worst one. It's hard, isn't it? It probably is 2 next. I don't hate on 2, but I think it probably is 2. And then 4. And then, I'm going to be controversial here, 1 and then 3.
Wow. I was like, this is the same, because I thought everyone would put Die Hard number 1.
No, I just love Die Hard with a Vengeance. I just love
fun.
It. It's fun. It's like you say, the chemistry between him and between Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson is incredibly good.
Yeah, I would still put number 1 at 1, but then 3.
It's very tight, and I completely
4,
understand
2,
that. But
5.
I just think for me personally, I probably enjoy 3 a little bit more.
Do you think they should have stopped at 4?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Clearly. I mean, by rights, they should probably have never made 4, but I'm glad they did because it's quite fun.
It was a nice introduction for a new generation of people who didn't know who like John McClane was and Die Hard.
True. Yeah,
I think you'd watch this and then go back. If you hadn't watched the other Die Hards or didn't know anything about them, and this came out, and you watch this, you'd be like, okay,
you'd
let's
probably
see what
want
the
to
other
know
ones are
enough.
like.
Yeah, you'd want to know enough to go and watch the others, I should think.
I think if you did that with 5, you wouldn't want to do that.
No.
And like you, I'm not quite sure why 4 gets treated like it is, because it is a good
It's
film.
clearly a good movie. Like, it clearly is.
The heart's in the right place with Die Hard 4.
I think maybe 5 tarnishes it a bit or something. Like, maybe that's
Maybe they've separated the first 3 and the second 2, the last 2 together. But this is Bruce Willis, like we said, being really good Bruce Willis, and it is a horrible shame what's happening to Bruce Willis now. I mean,
it really is.
I mean, a lot was said because he was churning out a lot, but there was a reason he was doing that. So the man had to make money and money quick. And apparently, he's got an illness. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, it's not good.
When Bruce Willis turned up in a film and actually was Bruce Willis, oh man, my God, he's worth the money alone. It's just amazing. He cares.
Yeah, absolutely.
Proper action
You can
star.
see it, like he really does invest. And you can sort of see, more so with John McClane than any other character, I think, his kind of comedy chops as well.
Yeah.
Because he started in comedy, he started in Moonlighting, which is funny. And he's always been, like, John McClane has always been witty. He's always been a funny kind of character. And I like to see that. I think maybe that's where 5 doesn't fall down. 5 doesn't, meet the grade because it's not funny. It doesn't have any wit or anything. Like, it takes all that John McClane-ness out of him. So
he looks so fucking cool with this as well, with the green shirt thing and the braces for the gun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is his first time he was proper bald in a Die Hard film.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and there's a bit where he shows Justin Long his badge, and Justin Long's like, "Oh yeah, where'd you get that from? The toy store?" And then he just shows him his gun, and he's like, "Yeah, that looks pretty real." Okay.
I feel like I would be Justin Long in these films again.
Yeah. The kind of slightly ineffectual, like,
geeky,
mostly scared through all of it.
You always think you're going to be the Bruce Willis,
but without the computer stuff.
Yeah, I don't know all that shit.
No, me neither. I'd be neither of them, to be honest. I'd be curled up in a corner having a little cry, probably. I'd be like, nope.
Do yourself more justice than that, Rich. Come on. You're fucking John McClane.
No, not at the moment. I'm not.
Oh man, brilliant.
Oh dear. Maybe 20 years ago I might have been, but these days.
Would you start, like, your son's quite young? I'm not saying you
Yeah.
start watching these kind of films yet,
Not yet. No.
but would this be the one you start them off on? Because it is a PG-13.
True. Here's one you could start. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'd probably start him off on the first one, to be honest. I'd probably like, yeah.
This is a classic.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, not for a few years yet. He's only 7. I think he's a little bit young for
10?
home.
11?
Although saying that, he did, when he was a very little baby, he had a very kind of Bruce Willis kind of style hairdo, and we did once dress him up in a vest, and then have his teddy bear with a little ho ho ho. Now I've got a machine gun ho 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 t-shirt. Like, there's photos of that somewhere with his teddy bear slumped in the corner. But yeah. So he's not seen it,
10.
but a few years time.
I remember seeing True Lies when I was 10.
Yeah,
I was around a friend's house and I had to ring up my mum and dad to ask if I could watch it. And obviously I don't think they knew what True Lies was, so they just said yes.
I watched things like Predator and stuff when I was not much older than George.
Yeah.
Like, I'd definitely seen Terminator 2 by the time I was 7. Like, I'm sure. Yeah. There's definitely movies I'd seen that I wasn't supposed to.
And has it? This is the final question, Rich. Has it aged well?
I was thinking this actually, watching it, going, do you know what? It doesn't feel 15 years old.
That's because they used a lot of practical stunts, like the car and the helicopter. They're all done. There is some ropey stuff when they're driving in the car and the backgrounds. Awful and stuff like that.
True. Yeah, it doesn't feel that
the elevator scene looks all pretty good.
Yeah, if it
Apart
wasn't
from
for
the editing, the editing.
The editing's weird. It's just weird editing, but then you can get weird editing now.
Yeah,
and I mean some of the tech is slightly clunkier.
Oh, it has. The Nokias and stuff.
Yeah, but actually, it didn't. I wasn't watching it going, oh, this feels very dated. This feels 15 years old. I watched it going, I can't believe it's 15 years old. It's like, doesn't feel that old a movie.
And in another 15?
And I mean, in another 15, it'll probably feel like completely alien. Like, if people will watch it back, like, we'll watch sci-fi from the 50s, it'll probably feel completely weird that we had Nokia phones with buttons on.
Yeah, that opened up and there was a little keypad.
A little keypad thing. Yeah,
and the hacker was plugging into the cigarette lighter thing in the cars.
Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna. It's the technology won't. But I think as a film, it'll still probably have.
Yeah, I think so too. I enjoyed it. Apart from the last 10 minutes, as soon as the plane turns up, and I'm not convinced that isn't a real, like, there's a real jet that actually does. I know there's a Harrier that can hover, but not with a massive jet like that on the back.
No, I
haven't seen one.
I don't know. I don't know enough about American military aircraft to know if that's a real thing or not. But it doesn't really matter.
And I'm not convinced I understand the actual what's going on in most of the films, like bringing down the.
Well, I sort of do. It's basically the Italian job to start with, isn't it? Like they turn off all the traffic lights.
Well, I get to turn off the traffic lights, but then the gas goes, electric goes, basically would turn back to the dark
communications ages. Go. Yeah, the whole Basically, it's that they call it the fire sale because everything must go, isn't it? Doesn't it? So
very clever.
Yeah. So he's basically trying to pull that off, but what he's actually trying to do is steal everyone's money. Realistically,
I get that bit.
So the motivation for him as a terrorist is shaky, but it would be shaky because he's not actually a terrorist. He's just trying to steal everyone's money.
He's just trying to. It's like a magic trick, isn't it? Trying to look over here, but really, I'm over here.
And basically, what he's trying to do is he's the guy that created the system in the first place, and so what he knows is that in an emergency like this, where everything's shut off, there's a central computer where all the data of all the money transactions in the country it's all downloaded onto to kind of as a failsafe, and then he's intending to hack that and steal all that data. So it's not real money; it's all digital money. But I don't know, I guess it still works.
You can still go and live in an island somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovely. Lovely.
There we go.
Die Hard 4, I think it's still a recommendation for us. I think if we put it in any of our categories, I would put it in surprising.
Yes, definitely in surprising.
I'm surprised no one's brought it up yet.
No,
there's been whispers of it, of Die Hard 3 and 4. But we haven't delved really deep in it. That's why we picked this sequel compared to Speed 2 or, Batman and Robin, because we didn't want to just...
And we could have talked about Rise of Silver Surfer, but we would have just been sat here panning it for...
Exactly. It's nice to... And people might have expected that, Rich.
Yeah, Boom. True. But it was nice to talk about something we actually liked and watch a movie that we enjoyed.
Yeah.
Rather than, something we didn't.
Do you want to see the people out?
Yeah, I do. Thanks everyone for listening. If you've liked what you've heard, it's a bit of a rambly one. These kind of like callback anniversary reviews are always a little bit rambly, but I think it's nicely entertaining listening to Dave and I. If you've enjoyed it, there are loads more episodes you can go back and listen to. There's all of our interview episodes. There's all of our extra episodes, and I think altogether we must have done 80,
88. Maybe.
88.
Something like that.
Crikey.
87, 88.
That's a lot, eh? Close to that 100, magic 100 mark, I guess. So yeah, go back and listen to all those. And if you really like what you hear, you can click the little subscribe button and we'll drop into your inbox every single week, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week when we're in our interview seasons. Talking of interview seasons, we are halfway, more than halfway. We've only got 3 episodes left of season 3. 2 episodes left once you listen to this one. 2 episodes left of season 3. So yeah, make sure you tune in for that. Give us a little like, give us 5 stars, give us a review, any of those stuff. Tell your friends. We'll love you forever. And if you do want to get in touch and tell us what you thought about Die Hard 4, then drop us a little message on Twitter. We are at Unequal Sequel. We're also on Instagram, also at Unequal Sequel. Or if you want to send us a longer message, you can email us, unequalsequel@hotmail.com.
Lovely. Yes, if you do send us your reviews of Die Hard 4 and your thoughts, we will read them out on our monthly roundups. That's our plan to do now. We squeeze them all into one episode, so do that because we really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. Thank you for your continuous support. We really appreciate that. And we will be back next week with a review of Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Woo!
I believe, currently, as long as, again, no one gets COVID. And then he coughs. But thank you for listening. It is a see you laters from me and a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
Have a good one.